don't know.
Yeah, maybe he's too dedicated.
Speaking of, moving on from the acting, now that we talked about it for an hour almost.
Oh, yeah.
There is, however, I think, because usually... let's back it up. I didn't finish my sentence before starting another one. The music seems to be very telling. Because the movie starts with like horror movie music.
Yes.
That sound when you see the mountains. I think that's how I interpret it. Telling of Daniel's point of view. Like this is a bad
definitely.
Man. Like
because the music matches his internal moods, not what he's showing always, but definitely what he's feeling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Specifically when you get towards the middle and the end, like when he starts to realize that this Henry guy isn't really his half brother, probably. That menacing just noise.
Yeah. And the same thing when he's running for HW and running back with HW to the hut or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And there's just this cacophony of noises like hitting things because he's panicked, he's nervous.
Yeah, it's his brain going wild basically.
Yeah. Also matching then later when HW tries to hear his own voice or hear noises like your snapping sound or hitting tables or whatever like. It's foreshadowing. Yeah. The music is so good. It's a bit different.
Yes, and it's maybe bit overwhelming at times.
I don't know if I think that. What I think it sticks out because you're thinking this is kind of a period piece movie. So you're thinking it should just be the regular orchestral music. But here, I mean, it is orchestral music.
It's almost
it's
sci-fi.
Different. Yeah, it's a bit like menacing.
It's like what they put in space movies.
yeah. But I think it's so well done and it sticks out because it is different.
It's
how
great.
how well it matches the mood and the characters.
It definitely portrays what it's supposed to portray. It's not one of those scores where it's just supposed to in the background sort of tell you what to feel.
Yeah, it has a purpose.
It's a character.
Yes.
It is literally the sound of Daniel's brain.
Yes, yeah. And it's also...
But it's a bit overwhelming, personally, because at points it's like... I understand that it's loud because this is what he's hearing. This is what's going on in his head, and it's loud in your head when you go through something like that.
Yeah.
But it's deafening almost to watch it.
Yeah. But I mean, unlike a lot of soundtracks, because when you hear it in the movie, even when it's a good soundtrack in the movie, you're like, man, I'm going to listen to this so much when I get home. But then when you listen to it when you get home, most of it is just in the background, because most of the music is in the background. And then you have some theme parts that they're good. But it's something about a soundtrack where you can actually listen to all of it. And this is one of those. Like, all of it is like, it's music. It's not just background noise.
It's musical pieces. It's all literally
and I like that. Another guy who does that, because the composer's Johnny Greenwood, who I'm pretty sure he's like he plays guitar or something in
he's from a band, right?
Yeah, he has a band with Tom York, the Creep. I'm a Creep.
Yeah.
What's it called? Shit.
I don't remember.
Not The Cure. Fuck. Oh, whatever. You know the band.
Yeah.
Hold on. I gotta look it
up. I just can't think of it.
Creep song.
Radiohead?
Radiohead. Yes, Radiohead. So I think that it gives him like a he
it's a different point of view.
Exactly. He makes music as music you want to listen to. So he's not just making background noise. He's making music you can actually listen to. Nothing wrong with making it more.
He writes songs, not score.
Exactly. Nothing wrong with a great original score.
No, there's amazing score as well.
Yeah, exactly. But as much as I love almost all of John Williams' scores to Jurassic Park or Harry Potter or Star Wars or whatever he makes, I never listen to them unless it's in the movie. This, however, I have listened to.
There are a few movies that I would I'll listen to that soundtrack, sure.
Yes, there are. But
Dark
once again,
Knight Rises is actually one of them, to be honest.
Yeah. It's very striking. That's why.
It's very striking, yes.
Same thing with like the first Pirates of the Caribbean, because it's so fucking in your face all the time.
What's that composer's name? I keep forgetting.
It's credited to Klaus Badelt, but from what I understand, it's mainly Hans Zimmer.
Yeah, Hans Zimmer. That's the one I was thinking of.
Because they collaborated, and at some point Klaus Badelt had to leave. So it's basically Hans Zimmer's score, but it was credited to him, or something like that. Because I know he took over for the other movies, or at least the two other in the first trilogy, so to speak.
In the original movies.
Yeah, in the good ones. Another guy, just quickly talking about soundtrack, another guy who, maybe not all of his stuff, because I haven't listened to all of it, but specifically his soundtrack for the King Arthur movie that came out in 2017, Daniel Pemberton is another, like, composer who makes, like, good music that you can actually listen to outside of the movie. Because it's different, it sticks out, but it feels like you said, like it's another character in the movie.
Yeah, it's not just ambience in the background. It's actually there.
It's part of telling the story.
Yeah, it takes place.
But what's also important to then differentiate is that because we said, like, it's mirroring, like, the mood of the characters and whatever, but it's never, like, emotionally manipulative. It's not telling you,
no.
Here's where you cry, here's where you laugh. No. It's just
enhancing what the actor's already showing us.
Exactly.
Because you can tell the brain working inside of Daniel's head when he's like, this dude is fucking me over. This isn't my brother.
Yeah.
And then the music is just enhancing that, like, making us like, okay, he's gonna fucking do something soon, because you can hear his thoughts, basically.
Yeah. And that's the difference between, like, enhancing emotion and being emotionally manipulative.
Yeah.
Which this never is, which makes it so fucking good.
Yeah. And pairing that then with the fantastic visuals.
Oh my god, yes. It is insane.
Holy shit. I mean, he's first of all, I mean, already from watching Licorice Pizza, I know that he does amazing, like, not camera work, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
he has the visuals. He
directs the photography photography.
Perfectly.
Yeah.
The wide shots, so you get all the details while still having the focus on one person just sitting still amidst all the chaos when when
they're about to blow the exactly. And you have him in the foreground and the guys with the dynamite.
Jesus Christ.
It's amazing.
And then, like, the choices of having someone pointed it out, and as I watch them point it out, it's like, yeah, that's weird, but it works and it makes sense, sort of. When HW comes back, normally an encounter like that would be in a close-up. You'd see the faces and the emotions, but because it isn't that emotional, really, you get to see it from, like, super afar.
Exactly, because it's awkward. Like, he's, of course, happy that he's back, but it's also like, oh, here's that kid I left behind. And
sorry.
HW's like, oh, daddy's back. But also, this is the guy that left me on the train. Like, it's awkward. But, you know, as the scene moves on, they move slightly closer to the camera.
And then you get the whole, like, altercation when he's, like, hitting him, and he's like, yes, I know, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And
that's when we get close.
Just the audacity to say, like, no, I'm not going to shoot any close-ups for this. I'm just going to do one long take as they move across to the vista, like, whoa, and have it work.
Yes.
Oh, my God. But also, just in general, like, how most scenes in the movie starts on a close-up. Like, you see his face in the beginning, or specifically, you know, when they're about to, so to speak, christen the first oil drill.
Yeah.
When you see his hand on the railing, but then it moves down, and they open up, and you see the whole crowd and him, like, talking to them.
Yeah.
A lot of scenes start on a close-up and then move out to be like a
wide shot.
A wide shot or medium shot, yeah. And there's this, like, instead of, like, cutting back and forth between the different, like, shots, they're all in long takes. Which, first of all, on a technical level, it's just more work, but it makes it feel more, like, immersive. Because you have, when you set up, like, first you're going to stand over here, and then you're going to go over here. It's called blocking. You block a scene.
Yeah.
Maybe we've talked about it. I don't know. And usually you cut between several cameras, so you can like, if there's mistakes in blocking, or if you want to like, I want to use a different take, you know. But here they do it all in one takes and have several blockings for characters in the same scene. First, like I said, first of all, a lot more work to make that work. But also, the fact that we don't cut so much makes it so much more immersive. Like, you feel like you're there, because it's not a camera that's cutting back and forth. No, you're just standing in the crowd.
It builds up the environment more naturally, because you would probably you focus on the person talking, and then you see the surrounding whatever. Yeah.
And even when you have just people like sitting down and they do back and forth, just face, other face, other face. Yeah. They sometimes like hold for long periods of time on the faces and just shows their reaction to what the person behind the camera, so to speak, is saying. Yeah. There's so many long, super close-ups of everyone in the movie, really.
Yeah, but then he also has these long wide shots of the environment, of showing absolutely nothing, really.
Showing the face of the environment. It's the same. It's like a close-up of the environment.
The barren desert, basically.
Yeah, which, just like a lot of the other, we talked about the character and everything, it's very complex, because it's one point it's very beautiful.
Oh yes.
But it's also like it's a arid fucking desert. It's dead. Yeah, the only thing you can get out of it is by literally like sucking the blood out of the ground.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like everything. There are layers to everything in this movie. And then finally, let's wrap it up, and then because we've been talking for over an hour now. Let's talk about the director who actually put all of this together, Paul Thomas Anderson.
I need to see more of his work.
Yes.
To be able to properly appreciate it.
I want to start by asking that, because had you seen any of the others movies?
I don't think I've seen any of them properly. I've probably seen like bits and pieces.
Sure, yeah. But then, because I think Licorice Pizza is more indicative of his style, really, like a drama comedy, or not a drama, but not like a yucks comedy, but like a fun, warm movie with a little bit of like darkness to it. Like that's
a bit more lighthearted.
Yeah, that's most of his career has been that. Like I said, Boogie Nights or Magnolia or Punch Drunk Love. Oh, they're very similar to Licorice Pizza. But then I read somewhere that he kind of wanted to reinvent himself, or like try a new style with this movie. And he has a few movies that really follow this very, very like dark sense of filmmaking almost. And I just want to ask, like, of course you knew it was the same guy making it, but how did it feel to go from Licorice Pizza to this? And like, this is the same guy? 10 years apart?
No, it didn't feel like it could be the same guy, really.
Yeah.
Because at the first, like, I know where There Will Be Blood was. I've heard of it. I've seen trailers and stuff.
Yeah.
So I just bunched that together with like, with darker, like, mobster movies or what's the other one? I think that's also about oil, but it's with some other dude. Whatever. No Country for Old Men.
Yeah. It's funny you would say that.
Haven't seen that, actually, to be honest.
No, but yeah, there's a similar style. But that's more of a crime movie, yeah. Funny, because both were filming in the same, like, area of Texas at the same time.
That's why they match in style. Or vibe, I suppose.
Yeah.
But it feels like this dark, moody guy who would only do dark and dreary and like horrible things, basically.
That's kind of funny.
No, then you have
that's a Coen Brothers Pizza movie. Yeah, because No Country for Old Men is a Coen Brothers movie, and they're also in the beginning and still to this day, I guess, more known for their comedies. I mean, they made The Big Lebowski.
Oh, that's right.
They made I don't know if you've seen The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, the Netflix movie they made a few years ago.
No.
There's something to that.
There's quite a contrast, definitely.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with Paul Thomas Anderson. Like, he can make a movie like Licorice Pizza, but he can also make a movie like There Will Be Blood. And And like you said, like it's almost like two different people, but there are little things like
there
the
are
long takes.
Yeah, there are details are certainly very samey.
Yeah, so you can recognize it even though they're so different. But yeah, if not at like a first glance, then they're completely different. But like when you discuss it, like the long takes, specifically like the choice of actors. Like
yes,
once
they're
again,
distinct somehow.
Exactly, like they're why he holds so long on takes and on faces, specifically in There Will Be Blood. Like he needs a face, that sticks out. That works.
Yeah, it's
not.
It's
just
not
be like
the
a guy is like. Oh.
It's not the classic Hollywood look.
No, yeah,
not
exactly.
saying that they're ugly. They're just distinct somehow. Yes. They have unique faces compared to all the Chris's in Hollywood. They all look the same, more or less.
All the guys, the guys. Yeah.
If you want to mention like a Hollywood dude, just say someone named Chris.
Yeah, it's all them.
And you don't need to know which one that is. You just okay, yeah, sure. It looks like that sort of.
Is it Pine, Pratt, Hemsley? Yes, Sam Amara.
Yeah.
You just say sorry.
Yeah, it's one of the Chris's.
Yeah.
But no, he chooses distinct people who have a different face. A face you can actually remember as that character, not as the actor also.
Yeah, and also like on the flip that over, I don't think he would ever pick someone like oh yeah, you were great your read for this scene was great, but you don't really have the looks. Like I'd say he'd rather cast a quote-unquote ugly person as long as they're good, which is more important.
Yeah, as long as they embody the character somehow.
Yeah, exactly.
Like in Licorice Pizza when they say that Alana is, you are Rainbow. It's like I've been hanging out with Rainbow.
Yeah.
Yes. Because you were hanging out with Alana.
Yes.
Kane. Not Haim, but Kane.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And really, really like have like reverence for the both characters and the actors portraying the characters. Yeah. Like not just having them be some great directors just use their actors like pawns, and it works for them. Like Hitchcock did that, and
yes.
Kubrick did that, but their movies are very different. Like here, you need to treat them, you need to have respect for both the characters and the actors.
You need to give the actor a way to be the character. You can't just tell them to be you need to give them the opportunity to be the character.
And it's so evident in two very different movies, Licorice Pizza and There Will Be Blood.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I can appreciate that it's 10 years in between them, so it's sure your style might have changed a bit. Your mood, I suppose, definitely must have changed.
Sure, yeah.
But I can't really imagine. I haven't seen like the ones he did just before Licorice Pizza either, obviously, since I haven't seen any of them.
Yeah.
But Obsession doesn't sound like something like Licorice Pizza.
Which one?
Obsession. No, wait. Maybe he just produced that one. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think he did that one.
This was the one I had before that.
He did
Phantom Thread.
Phantom Thread, yeah.
That feels more of towards the darker side a little bit.
That is definitely more like There Will Be Blood. But then a movie like Inherent Vice is much more like Licorice Pizza.
Right.
I mean, they're both literally 70s movies,
Yeah. They have the same colors and style, I suppose.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like he has these two kind of like different styles, and sometimes they overlap a little bit. Like The Master is also much more like that isn't. It is dark, but not on the same level. But it's very it's serious. It's very dark and stoic. There's not the cool characters like in Licorice Pizza.
Inherent Vice with Licorice Pizza.
Yeah, exactly. Except for like a couple, and there are scenes that are definitely funny in that movie, which is why that might still be we should do The Master at some point. I didn't pick The Master because if you want to take a movie that's even harder to like figure out at the first watch, it's The Master.
Well, he's got that one still. so far, both movies I've seen from PTA is definitely hard to figure out on the first watch. You kind of get it towards the end. You're like, okay, you're wrapping it up very well. Yeah. But while watching it, you're like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, but then give this a rewatch in like a year or something. Oh my god. Because like I said, this was the first time I rewatched it in a long time. And wow.